So a lot of guys, they'll grow and they'll do whatever it is, like 100K a day on Black Friday, right? But then the next week, business is toast. I'm trying to really grow this business as well. I think it probably can hit like 1.5 million in about around like April.
How do you grow a brand? You just do more ads?
Definitely not. I would say marketing is the skill to get to like 300K a month. But past that, it's really just based on...
I mean, a lot of people build e-commerce stores. Some are successful, a lot of them are unsuccessful. What do you think why you're already successful in your age?
I had a really, really good head start with guys that were way above me. I had guys already done 10x what I've done.
Too many people want to get rich fast, which is not bad,
Yeah.
but they are not valuable. They expect that everybody helps them, but what's the output of them, you know?
You need to have cash flow coming in. Because when you make money, you need more money to even grow it faster, right? And we try to do like a big wire of like 70K, 90K, and all of a sudden kind of gets frozen for 1 or 2 days for no reason.
How do you find the right product, or how do you find a problem to solve?
You need to make sure that the problem you solve has a big...
Okay, here we are, new podcast. Today we are here with Bukunmi. Welcome to Dubai, brother.
Good to see you, brother.
I'm looking forward to this interview. It's next level. We just talked. Bukunmi is still 21 years old, and the business that we right now manage makes 800K per month. I think I just saw this 3 or 4 weeks ago when you were sending me the passport, and I thought, oh, you're born 2003. I thought, bro, like how much do this guys make now, you know, so early? And Bukunmi told me, yeah, but other guys here make, you know, 8-9 figures per month. I said, yes, but bro, how much will you make, you know, when you're 25 years old, 30 years old? So yeah, really looking forward to this interview. First, how was your travel to Miami and how was your first impression of Dubai?
Yeah, so I just came back from Miami about 4 days ago. So from Melbourne, Melbourne, Australia. So I went from Melbourne to Miami for 10 days. Did some bank accounts opening there with you guys. You guys helped out a lot. Made it very seamless there. Then went back home to Melbourne for 1 day and then now in Dubai. But yeah, Dubai is nice. It's very clean. There's a lot of money, very centralized here, which is very interesting. And it's very much that old money as well as that new money combined, which is really good.
It's nice. So let's maybe start from the beginning. So now you're 21 years old. Soon you make 1 million per month and soon much more, of course. When did you get started with e-commerce?
Yeah, so 21 now. I started when I was technically 16, so in grade 11.
Crazy.
In Australia.
What did you guys do with 16?
But yeah, I was 16 during 17 that year during COVID. So I lost my job, everything like that. Had $1,000 in the account and tried e-commerce, lost all my money, didn't make even one sale. Then COVID hit, so I lost all my income coming in. So stopped it for a bit, focused on kind of finishing school, but I always knew I was going to restart it again. So around 18, 19 when I finished school, did crypto for a little bit. I used to also play basketball like semi-professionally. So I was playing and training like 8 hours a day. And then eventually kind of around maybe 19 years old, it took off for me a bit. And I was like, this is doing really well for us. So I was like, let's do this full time. And then, yeah, since then, been doing e-commerce full time and we've grown really fast since then.
It's great. I mean, a lot of people build e-commerce stores. Some are successful, a lot of them are unsuccessful. What do you think why you're already successful in your age?
I think the main thing is mentors. I had a really, really good head start with guys that were way above me. So every step of the way, I kind of got to each level. I had guys that already done 10x what I've done. Mm-hmm. So of course, there's things like hard work and everything like that. But I think the biggest thing is building a good connection of people that know what they're doing and they're willing to help you back. Mm-hmm. I think it's the biggest reason why we grew really fast. But I guess on the more tactical side of things, you just need to make sure that you are actually solving a problem in the market. A lot of guys get into e-commerce try and do all this fancy, cool stuff, but really you just need to look at what's happening in the market, why it's working, and figure out how you can reverse engineer it yourself to build it into your own brand.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean, that's what I really saw with you. By the way, guys, Bukunmi also connected us to Michael originally. Yeah. So Bukunmi is well connected. How did you build these connections?
Yeah, so I actually paid for a program by someone, Alex Fedotov. I actually work for him now still as a consultant. And I joined that program when I was 19 years old. And great program. Every coach there was a 7-figure entrepreneur, right? And I really made it my mission there to make those guys like me and want to actually build friendships with me. So then through that, I actually ended up getting a job there when I was having success. And then just all the time trying to figure out how I can help these guys above me so that I can give them leverage back like you did with you with Mike, right? Trying to make sure that you build good relationships that are valuable on each side. So it's a win-win, and then later on, they're happy to help you as well.
So did you buy only one course? Were you part of one community or multiple communities?
I was part of one when I was, I think, 18. It was really bad. Then joined the newest one that I'm now a coach for it. And that's the only ones I joined, I guess, initially. Now I'm in like maybe 6 or 7, right? But some are paid, some are free. Some are like, Telegram group chats where like, those guys with a lot of numbers. But that's the only one I guess I initially paid for that we kind of stayed with.
You think one of the biggest game changers was just to have mentors and follow them, right?
Mentors, and then make those mentors not just people that you waste their time and you just pay for their money, but they actually see value back in you. Because then they'll think about you outside of it. How can I help this guy? Because they see the drive. They see you're actually a good person willing to help them back.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's what I always think, especially in the first years until you have your first 100 million. You don't need to invent something new, You just need to follow people who are already successful and just copy their path and do something which already works, right?
100%.
Yes, and that's also what I see. And that's also a really good point to be valuable for other people around you. I think too many people want to get rich fast, which is not bad, but they are not valuable. And that's an issue. And they expect results. They expect that everybody helps them. But what's the output of them, Not much.
100%.
And you mentioned to solve a problem. So how do you find the right product, or how do you find a problem to solve?
Great question. I think the main thing is you need to make sure that the problem you solve has a big audience size. A lot of guys find products where it's like, I don't know, some fidget spinner or something stupid like that. Yes, it may solve a problem for people that have like ADHD or something like that, or they have like autism, whatever it is. But you want to make sure the problem you have has a big TAM, so total addressable market, where hundreds of millions of people can buy it, right? Because then it's already a big market, there's already demand there, and you can go for it. But how you'd find that's pretty easy. There's multiple ways. You can go through Reddit, ChatGPT, Facebook ads library, things like that. The main thing is to make sure it's already a big brand that's already doing 9 figures or $1 billion in that industry, and then figure out how you can come into the industry and either sell something similar or the same thing. Even if it's the same thing, figure out a way you can sell it so you're selling it in a different way. You differentiate. It can be through your offer, through the angle of the product. Let's say it was a product for, I don't know, for knee pain. If you say and you sell it to somebody that is a nurse, that's one persona. But you say to someone that's an athlete, it's a different persona, or a construction worker, a different persona. So you need to make sure you angle your product in a way that's different in the market.
Okay, that's good. When you got started, how much money did you need to get started with your business? And how long did it take to be really profitable?
I had a lot of stops and starts and a lot of roadblocks along the way. So I would say a good amount you should have is about maybe 3,000 USD. But I think the main thing is you need to have cash flow coming in. I think e-commerce is a business model where you can't, because when you make money, you need more money to even grow it faster, right? So I would say around 3,000 USD, at least starting out, is enough, but you need to make sure you have recurring money coming in. In terms of how fast it took off, so I started, I believe, I started at 18 again, probably. 19, I joined that community that I was in, I believe it was around April 2023, I believe. And then in September, I had my first $1,000 a day in revenue. And then that happened, had some roadblocks, went back to zero, and then went back to 0 to 2K a day, then went back to zero, then 0 to 3, then went back to zero. And then we hit our 60K a month and we went to zero, that 0 to 3K. And then since then, learned a lot of lessons. And through those lessons, I kind of figured out what are the roadblocks you need to be able to overcome. Found those guys like Mike, for example, where PayPal gets hold, anything gets held. How do you get that fixed? Is a really big thing to change the game for us, because now any issue we have, I know the right guys to get it fixed. So I kind of grew really fast now, because every roadblock since then, like this business that we started with you right now, this one started in June, and it grew super, super fast, mainly because any problem that was going to happen, we knew how to fix it before it even happened.
What was your biggest learning?
Ooh, I would probably say that scaling ads is the easy part of things. Once you have the skill set of being able to market, scaling ads is actually the easy thing. It's the back end stuff that's difficult. So understanding how other operations of your business are combined and what they are looking for. So for example, if it's payment processor, what makes them trigger to make them want to hold your money? What makes the bank want to hold your money? What makes this lender not want to give you the money? What makes this customer, refund or chargeback, things like that are really important. And then like apart from that, just again, it's knowing the right things at the right time. Like, okay, you're at XYZ number. I need to find a guy that's already been there. So I know before even I get into those problems, he can tell me these are the XYZ issues you're going to deal with. You should fix these ones first before these ones now.
Okay, that makes sense. How does your typical day look like? Like what is your focus to become successful?
Yeah, I'm straight into the lab, honestly. So I wake up, maybe go for like a 5-10 minute walk, and then straight to the computer. Now we're growing quite fast. So a lot of things that I used to do, I don't do anymore. We have a pretty big team, about 10 to 12 people, and I have a business partner as well. So mainly I wake up, I'll review what everyone else has done during the day. That's kind of the high level things. I kind of see what we can implement into the business. And then like really depends day by day, but usually like talking to my high level guys, a copywriter, a media buyer, things like that, seeing like what happened that day, what we can implement next, and how we can go to that next level. But it really depends on the day. It could be a day where it's like talking to suppliers and figuring out how we can kind of get like a new ingredient out or new things like that. But it really depends, I guess, on the day. But yeah.
So you live in Australia. Why did you decide to set up a US LLC?
So US is definitely the best place to open up a business. You know, you get 0% taxes, you put it in the right state, and you set up the right way. It's a pass-through state, right? If it's in Wyoming, you go Delaware or some other states and things like that. And you just get access to obviously US banking, right? Like Chase, JP Morgan, Bank of America, things like that. And also like long-term, you get access to a lot more money. Like in Australia, you're not going to get a $100 million loan with like or you're going to get access to like a VC, capital with $100 million in Australia. That's not happening, right? But in the US, when you're getting to those bigger numbers, which we're trying to get to, and we should get there to the next couple of months, that comes a lot more available for you. And then as well, like in a couple of years, if I'm not living in Australia anymore, I can pivot very easily and just make sure that US company is owned by a different trust that's not in Australia anymore and things like that.
So how long do you use the LLC now?
We have two, one for a different business, but this one has been around for about a year. The other one's been around for about 2 years.
Okay. And with this LLC, you sell in Australia, in the US, right? Where do you
Everywhere.
sell in which countries?
So about 70% plus to the US, which you need to be unless your providers probably will take you down if you use like a normal provider. But US, UK, Australia, Canada, all big 5 countries. Then like some smaller countries like UAE a little bit, Germany a little bit, things like that.
Okay, and all through the US LLC, right?
Yes.
A lot of people ask and say it's not possible because of fulfillment and payment processing. You need a Europe entity. Is it true?
No. So you just need to make sure in XYZ countries in the US, you might need UK, in the EU, you pay VAT at a certain threshold, but definitely you can use the US LLC for everything.
Yes, that's true. Okay, it's great. So you just came back from Miami to open the bank accounts. And let's maybe start first before. When did you decide that you need good local banking? What was the reason even to contact us? And when did you make the decision like, hey, I want local banking?
Yeah, so we were using Mercury before, like a fintech solution. And this saw some issues like during Chinese New Year and things like that. We tried to do like a big wire of like 70K, 90K, and all of a sudden account gets frozen for 1 or 2 days for no reason. And before that, everything was fine, right? But as you scale to higher numbers, as you always say as well, you get some issues. So one day, through one of the guys you got an interview with Defino, I believe, saw your thing, watched it, and it made a lot of sense, and watched more videos. I've talked to a few of my other friends. I actually have a friend that actually used Mercury and he had $3 million lost. So they sent it back to the Wyoming address because it was as a check because too much money getting moved and he lost $3 million like that. So I saw that and then I saw what you were saying as well and I was like, look, there's no point taking the chance. So hit you up. It was very easy. Hopped on a call with Donald, then talked to you and I'm like, okay, look, easy. This is how it's going to work. So booked my ticket, went to the US and Banker and Chase was amazing. So yeah.
That's great. So before flying to the US, did you expect that everything works seamlessly or were you worried that something goes wrong?
Definitely, it was a bit worrying, right? Because you never really see that happening, right? As the guys live there and you hear all these guys saying, you need XYZ, you need this, you need a residency and all this stuff. But it was very seamless. We actually went to Miami with 2 different banks. So one was with you, one wasn't with you. Bank of America, that one went terribly.
Yes.
We had a personal account that's open, but the business account has issues. But Chase with you, with your banker, no issues, personal and private. Yes, they might do something the first couple of days, but call the banker, call you, it's fixed in 4 to 6 hours. So it's been really easy.
Okay, it's great. Yeah, I mean, you already referred us basically to a few people. Now You're here, you have the bank account. What did you like about our service?
You guys work really fast. I think it's very unique when the CEO actually is in touch with the client still, which I don't know if you guys can do that for very long, but you guys really know what you're talking about. Because even our first call, I was like, okay, is this guy really legit? Like I don't really know what's going on, but like you guys made it sound really clear. And you make sure like whatever is happening with XYZ person, it's very akin to their situation. But yeah, I think it's been very seamless, very easy to operate with. It's very clear, it's a full structure and things like that.
Okay, it's great. And how do you feel now where you have good local banking? You feel less anxiety about your money?
It's been good so far, man. Like again, any issue that we have isn't that big of a deal. Chase, we can do big wires and they don't care. The guy told me like only thing you need to worry about is do a wire on 500K a day. So that's the worry that we need to worry about. That's a very big change from Mercury and wires and things like that. But yeah, it's gonna be really good for us.
And how was your impression before? Because I think also you talked to some people before you were flying, and a lot of people are telling you, oh, it's so difficult and
Yeah.
you need this document and it's not working. Did you see any other solution, or did you feel like, oh, maybe it's really not working? What were your expectations before?
I expected it to have issues like, like I could have with Bank of America right now. Hey, come back to the branch. Come back to the branch every 10 seconds, right? But I didn't expect it to open up so quickly and to be just like put XYZ money into the account. Done.
Mm.
And it was really just like simple as that. And then, we got private banking and things like that. So it was really a lot easier than I expected as a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So how was the timeline from going to the branch until everything worked, until you received your debit cards?
So probably about, I would say, our first debit cards went to the branch, second day there. Cards came in by like Thursday, Friday, like 1 to 2 business days. One card took a little bit longer. There was a little bit of issue on like the application side of things on my side. But yeah, like everything was done like within a week. So yeah.
Okay, it's great. It's nice. Yeah, it's really good. Would you ever use Mercury or fintech bank accounts again?
Probably for lower scale stuff. We still have some money in there, like maybe like $50,000 in Mercury, whatever it is. But like for a long term, yeah, there's maybe just to transfer money in and out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But like for big money investments, no way. It's too risky.
Yeah, that's the point. Do you have any questions right now about Chase? Are there any things which are new for you, or things where something doesn't work, or all works perfectly?
Works pretty good. Like, of course, our accounts are relatively new, so like if we do move things very aggressively, of course, it's a bank, so they're gonna have verification stuff. But it's very easy. Even if they say come to the branch, we call our guy that you can do this with, and it's just like okay, it's unlocked in 5 minutes, right? So it's very easy.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so now you have your LLC, you have good banking, you have good processing. How about your residency? Where do you want to live in the future? You want to stay in Australia, or do you have other plans?
Yeah, I think it's tough to say. I think definitely I won't be in Australia the next couple of years because taxes in Australia are pretty bad. Like it's progressive tax in Australia, so personal taxes go up and up as much as you make. So like let's say you're in the highest bracket, things are like $4,000 Australian dollars, it's like 40% or 5%. So it's a lot. Business taxes isn't as bad in Australia, like 25%, 30%, but of course you can do things this kind of smarter way. But I definitely think we'll move out to like somewhere like the UAE or Miami or wherever it is in the future. Not too sure yet, but I know it's not going to be Australia in the next 3 to 5 years though.
So what's holding you back right now?
Man, I don't know. I think it's still trying to figure out where, I'd say. And honestly, my main focus is like going to business right now. Of course, I know that we'd lose money by not moving somewhere else, but I think there's still so much to implement for us to kind of go to that next step to take that like high 8s to like 9 figures a year. I think we can kind of want to focus this year to kind of establish all of that, and then like maybe in 2026 we kind of I can focus more about how I can move out to kind of optimize taxes and things like that, and environment.
Okay, that's good. So it's now your first time here in Dubai since 10, 20 years, right?
Yeah, I came here like
20 years.
Yeah, no, not 20 years. Maybe like 8 years ago I came here, but it was more Abu Dhabi area. I didn't come to Dubai that much, and I was quite young. We went to like the Jumeirah Palms. It was more like the kids area.
Yes.
But we're staying in downtown right now, so it's more of like that, that newer wealth. But it's really interesting. It's a lot of centralized wealth, very new, like I said at the start, and it's just a different perspective. That guys around you all think like you, which you don't see in a lot of other places. Even Miami, for example, it's great, but it's different to the environment here for sure.
So which options do you have in your mind when you want to move out of Australia?
Definitely, I'm only been here for a couple of days, so we'll still explore some more. But definitely, UAE is a hotspot for obviously every entrepreneur, right? But I think definitely somewhere in either in the eastern US, um, Dubai, maybe a smaller place like I don't know, like a Thailand, whatever it is. But I think I haven't explored that much yet. Like this is probably my first couple of times out of Australia, to be honest with you, like in the last like 6 years as an adult specifically. So I think there's still a lot to explore, and then probably in our next interview in a year, something like that, I can probably tell you, I guess, more, I guess, what I'm thinking. So yeah.
So what's your first impression of Miami compared to your first impression of Dubai?
So Miami Brickell is very interesting.
Yes.
So like it's very, very just Lambos every 5 minutes, guys wearing a Corvette, McLaren, things like that. But it's very different to like Dubai where it's like, Rolls Royce, kind of like that more older school money is what I've seen so far. But I think the thing of Miami is it's like you see the wealth, but you see the poverty at the same time, which is very strange. Whereas Dubai, it's like everything is clean, everything is very much, it's set in place. There's a big towers and things like that. People here are much more nice. Whereas Miami, you still feel like you're in that Western country. They still kind of act rude sometimes, things like that. But Dubai, it's like everyone's very nice to you. They're respectful. There's obviously much safer, less crime here as well. But I think it's probably too early to say a decision yet. I've still been in Dubai like 1 or 2 days, so I think we'll explore some more for sure.
If you look at your e-commerce network, where are most people located?
I would say probably in Miami, just from who I've been connected to in the past. But I noticed a lot of guys in Dubai as well. So over this next week or so while we're here for a few events and things like that, we're going to meet a lot of guys that also are based in Dubai. So excited to see that.
So you think Miami and Dubai?
Miami, Dubai, Cyprus is another hotspot as well. Marbella, Spain, right? But I think the biggest hubs are definitely Miami, maybe LA, but I don't think anyone wants to live in LA. But maybe Miami or Dubai for sure.
Yeah, that's also why you see here Miami, Dubai, one of our top cities. I'm also flying always between Dubai and Miami. I don't live in Miami, but somehow there's always something to do. As you see. And I also think Miami, Dubai are actually like quite similar. They're different, but still similar. Like young society, everybody wants to make money. Everything is pro business, and I like both places. But if you look at your tax perspective, time zone, and everything, I think overall Dubai is the winner if you just compare them one-on-one. Yes.
I think it definitely depends on also your like values. So I'm much more of a family person. I'm more of like a religious kind of background. So like Miami is like, you see OnlyFans girls and things like that. And it's, to me, it's not the environment I want to be around 24/7. Whereas Dubai, yes, there's still that obviously in some places, but overall it's a bit more modest in general. And obviously like it's still I'm not Muslim, but it's a Muslim country. So it still has that values of respect as a backbone. But yeah.
So what would be ideal for you as a place to live? What's most important for you?
I would say at my age now, I'm not really trying to have a family, at least for like the next 4 to 5 years, I would say. So I wouldn't say it's specifically family-oriented stuff yet, but I like that feeling still. So that's why I'd probably be more, have more, I guess, resonation between here compared to Miami. Because at least where I was in Miami, maybe it was based on where I was in Brickell and I was in like South Beach area. So of course it's the club areas, right? Yes. But I would say family values are very important. Of course, while I'm still young, definitely the connections in business places, because like in Australia, like one of the biggest fishes there, right? So like it's not really that motivating. So I would say definitely like the business connections, safety, of course, right? And just similar to what I was mentioning before about the wealth, but I think also like seeing that older money is very important. So I think both places have that as well. We kind of see like that really big money, those guys making like billions of dollars, right? Instead of just like those guys doing like a couple 7 figures a year, seeing guys are really at that next level of building real corporations.
Okay, so about residency, you need to plan more. Before you were setting up the US LLC, did you plan that much, or was it directly clear for you? Or did you add some other options like Hong Kong, for example?
Yes, Hong Kong, I think we have a lot of clients that use Hong Kong. Long term, I think it's the best for exiting businesses. Like there's some issues with it. And obviously, like some things that people do in Hong Kong sometimes isn't, at least from what I've seen, isn't the best structure. If you don't have a lot of capital, at least like initially. I think US LLC is very easy barrier to entry. and also you can grow very fast. And then I think it's, from what I understand, I'm not obviously a tax professional. It's easy to kind of transfer, but it's a Hong Kong entity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, it's great. So, little summary. I think you're extremely focused. I think there are not many people in this age who think about traditional values, religious values, building families. So I think you have a clear game plan basically for your life. US LLCs are great. Local banking is great. Building connections was one of the most important things for you. What are your plans for the future?
Yeah, so I think we're in a good place right now. We're building a really strong team. So I guess I'm trying to really grow this business as well. I think we probably can hit like 1.5 million in about around like April or maybe May. Just we had a little bit of a slowdown of some stock things in February right now. So we'll hit pretty good numbers this month. But I'm really trying to build a really good system where we can build multiple eight-figure brands at once. And then after that, kind of getting into M&A is really the main play. So we're kind of getting into businesses, buying and selling companies as well in the future, and helping with brokerages as well. But I think it only comes with having a really, really strong foundation in e-commerce at the higher scales as well. So kind of trying to work with bigger companies that already have some, let's say doing 100K, 300K a month. How can we get you guys to 1 million, 2 million a month? Is a really big play. And that's probably the next goal for the next, I guess, 2 to 3 years will be for us. So yeah.
Do you have a team right now in the back end?
Yes, so a team of 12 people right now.
12 people. What's their like role? Which team members are most important?
So of course you have like different, I guess, like levels of your team, right? You have like, the like kind of like lower level people, right? Kind of where it's like customer service people, right? You have like VAs and things like that. Then you have the higher leverage guys where it's like, your copywriter, you have guys like your media buyer. You have people on our team like our video editors that do a lot of like, I guess, our marketing side of things. So e-commerce, the biggest thing is, of course, is the marketing, right? So how can we make creatives every single day, every single week and things like that? But yeah, like I have a business partner as well, and he kind of manages also people. He's kind of still also he's also someone that actually met as a young guy. I think I know still 3 or 4 years old. It's a close family friend. So trying to really make sure we kind of build in more high leverage guys into the team, and then probably in a couple of months get someone that's going to be like a head operator that's going to take what I do. So yeah.
How did you find the right people?
Really, I would say it takes a lot of vetting. Like what we typically do for when we hire guys, depends the position they are in. But let's say it's a copywriter, for example. We will do a LinkedIn job post, and then we'll take them to like a Google form. And with the Google form, we kind of are able to get a lot of people kind of like weeded out because it just goes automatically into Google form, and then we get a VA to just check if they don't hit these XYZ criteria, we don't even pick them. A big thing I think is like doing like Loom videos in the application to see like how they talk, how they interact, if they're going to be a good culture fit. And then after that, I'll hop on an interview with them, or if it's a lower level, which is my business partner, will do it. But if it's like a copywriter, for example, hop on an interview with them, I'll give them a series of questions, give them a series of things where like live them showing them what they would do. And then I think the biggest thing is after that as well, we do a trial month. We pay them like half of what they usually would do, no bonuses, things like that, and then see how they go. If they complete that, they get the full salary for the month. But this main thing I would say for picking the right guys are guys that are really driven to grow. Like, okay, you're a media buyer now, but in 3 years, you want to be a head of operations, you want to be a head of marketing, right? So like trying to future pace these guys into seeing like, okay, you're here now, but we're growing really fast. How can you build up and be someone that actually has more value to the team, where you win, I win? So again, building those situations where it's a benefit for everybody, but also at the end of the day, of course, they win for their lives, people under them will win, and then the CEO, me, right, will win as well. So yeah.
It's great. How does the structure look like? Do they work as freelancers? Do you hire worldwide, or how do you do it?
So again, depends where they are. So definitely there are people that work in-house. We have 12 guys I mentioned all work in-house. We have people that are freelance. So I don't really count them as team members, to be honest. But people that actually work for us, they work in like a Slack channel. They're working every day. Some guys got media buyer works like 14 hours a day. When he's awake, he's on the account looking at our ads. But yeah, everyone is abroad. Depends if it's like, I guess, customer service, you can probably go for somewhere like the Philippines where it's a bit cheaper, things like that, or Argentina. It's another great place. If it's high leverage, like a copywriter, for example, probably someone that speaks native English, or they have a very good background of English. Like our guy's actually from Germany, but he speaks German and French, so it's like his USP for us, and English, obviously. So like, I would say if it's a high leverage position where it's like something where they need to have good communication skills, probably want to go for like a big 5 country or somewhere where they have great English skills. But someone like customer service or like a VA, probably go to somewhere like the Philippines or Argentina or like the Eastern European countries as well, where you can kind of, I guess, pay less, but it's still a lot of money for them, you know? So yeah.
So you were talking about merger and acquisition in the future. How do you decide if something is a good brand or not? So you obviously already mentioned it needs to solve a problem, not just for a small group of people, but for a lot of people. What else is important?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't gotten into it yet. Like I've done a little bit of research and I have a few friends doing it, so I don't have too much expertise in it for sure yet. But from what I could say from the service level, from what I see from people that I know that do that, it's really just about, of course, like what the lifetime of the business is. You know, like does that business have, can it survive without just advertising, right? Can it survive of its situation right now? Does it have a backbone without the brand owner's name there? Things like that. So of course, like has a big audience size is important, but also like what are the standards of the business? You know, do they have a good team in place? If not, can I bring people in? If I can't, then why can't I? Things like that. But yeah, I think it's still pretty early for me to say that. Yeah, I'm trying to really still grow ours, and I have some friends that consult me about these things and see how we can build and how like what is needed to kind of get into M&A and just kind of see like you can see it's a good fit for yourself. But honestly, still probably early for me.
How do you grow a brand? You just do more ads?
Definitely not. That's probably, I would say marketing is the skill to get to like 300K a month. Past that, it's definitely people and network and just having barriers taken down at each level. So I would say like 0 to 300K a month I'd say is mainly marketing, be good at copywriting and things like that, and having a good marketing team, a good editors, whatever it is. But past that, it's really just based on how do you build a good operational structure on your team, one, and then secondly is how do you actually have the right processes in place to grow sustainably? Because a lot of guys, they'll grow and they'll do whatever it is, like 100K a day on Black Friday, right? But then the next week, business is toast because they don't worry about the back end things. They don't worry about chargebacks, how that will occur, customer lifetime value, things like that. Or I think a lot of guys struggle with, they try to just become like, these guys are just like money, money, money on e-commerce, right? But there's nothing in the backbone keeping the business alive, keeping customers happy and things like that, which is the things that you need to make sure you have to cement if you want to sell the company in the future or you want to even just grow it in the front end as well.
It's great. Really good points. I think that's enough for our first interview. It was a lot of great value, by the way.
No worries.
Great value. I think you have an amazing future.
Appreciate you.
We need to see you more on social media soon. And yeah, wish you all the best for the future. I think we will grow together.
Of course.
Do a lot of good business things together. And hopefully you will move here to Dubai.
We'll see.
But already good that we have your US operations in control now. I'm happy that everything worked in Miami, of course. And yeah, let's destroy.
Of course, let's do it. Thank you, brother. Take care.
Thank you, brother.
Easy.